Goose linebacker coming through. Yeah, hit him with the spin of the Jew. Yeah, we gon' blow your block like a new. Yeah, and I spend a dime every two. We gon' lock down on the offense. Bust down the skeleton fossil. Bust down. I'm not addressing the problem. Julio on the post, you can't stop him. Pick it up, running back, it's no problem. I'm running behind the block, they gon' block him. Quavo Yoda, I'm offset Chewbacca. Watch the blitz on the left, we gon' block him. We some animal, yeah, we some goblin. Man to man, we gon' cover you properly. Man to man, you can't beat me impossibly. Red zone, this my highlight, my property. Do a quarterback, niggas on 4th and 3. Get the ends on the offensive block for me. I stiff him down, get off of me. I'm trucking them over, he under me. Back ends, wipe my sins. They can't win, no new friends.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now a first down throw, Stafford. And he's got his tight end. This is Luke Wilson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Hey, tag 32, set, lady.
Stafford on first down. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on his first drive. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go.
Stay 50. Hey, we're ready. We're waiting. Give me radar.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And Tate's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up first and 10 at the 46. The first carry now, this is Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. To throw on second down to Stafford. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience is early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the Grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
Back to football. Going underneath to Blunt. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be 4th down. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Marcus Sherrill's back deep for Minnesota. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here we go. Rhino!
Again, it's Cook. And some room to work. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Brandon Carr there to make the stop.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Throwing his Cousins. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. On 3rd down, Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
That's what I'm talking about. Monday.
Now a first carry for LeGarrette Blount. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. From the gun, here's Stafford. Catch made right side by Wilson. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Let's go, let's go. Let's 50.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Yellow, yellow, yellow. Gun.
Cousins from the gun on third. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On second down, here's Stafford. And his pass incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. The Lions on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Here's Stafford. Oh, he almost had the rare interception. The big fella couldn't hang on, though. Incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
Let's go, let's go. Rhino, Rhino!
On second down, Cook.
Go,
2 seconds to go, first quarter. on 1st and 10. Cousins. And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. A give. This is Cook. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Play action now. Cousins. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Sean Robinson in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And Detroit getting set to go now.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball to their territory.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll run it here with Blood. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. In on the stop there, Andrew Sendejo.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6.
Let's go. Set through 60.
Again, here's Blood. And he's going to lose yardage back to his own 1-yard line. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
12 yards there as they move the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Sylvester Williams able to swamp him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Handoff comes to Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Sean Robinson there on the stop.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And Matthews has it right side. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And Detroit getting set to go now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On 1st down, Stafford here. Out to the right here to Wilson. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Hey, you ready? 180. Omaha, ready to move. 4 down, tag 53.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter. The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Stafford. They're able to locate Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. More from Minneapolis after this.
Hey, boys, we got 4 down. Let's go now, let's go.
Now Riddick. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Throwing is Stafford. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
They go back to the ground with Johnson. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The Lions on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Hey, go here! On the ball, on the ball!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Down right around the 25. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. So we're trading first-half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. We've got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
A first down throw for Cousins. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 39, 20, 10, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word. Yeah. You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski.
Let's go. Let's 50.
Back to it after the pick six. Cousins. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Sean Robinson in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So the penalty now moves it up. It's 2nd and 10.
Hey, 382, Liz, 50.
Cook following the penalty. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Second down, Cousins. And Matthews over the middle of the ground. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there, a 22. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. First down, here's the run with Cook. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Let's go.
They run it again with Cook. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Credit the tackle to Darius Slay.
And when you don't pick up the necessary yardage in that situation, sometimes it starts to put a little doubt in the play caller's mind about what he's going to run on the next play. Because most of them, they thought they were going to pick it up right then and there. Now they've got to adjust what they're doing, adjust what they're thinking, and maybe they go away from what they originally thought.
Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Let's go. Wide.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Cousins now on 2nd down. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long.
Hey, 382, last 50. Rhino. Here we go.
On play action, Cousins. And some room to run now. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yeah,
run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Looking to throw on second down. Stafford completing it here to Marvin Jones. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
First and 10, Stafford. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. To throw on second down is Stafford. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
They'll come up now on a second and long after the hold. To throw on second down. Stafford, but he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down. They're looking for a spark defensively. When he went for that ball, probably thought he had a chance at the pick. And remember, they had 2 last week in the win. Obviously losing here.
Well, you talked about looking for a spark, and the best sparks are when you make big plays for your team. And he had that opportunity there. Couldn't haul it in, but that doesn't mean they're going to back off at all. They figure if they can get one of those takeaways, they can spark their team to a win.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards on the carry there, but it'll be fourth down now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal. And I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll power his way up near the 25. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now Cousins. Buying time to his left. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down. The Vikings on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
4 down, 4 down. Where's the hot?
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Your trip is here, baby. Your trip is here. Let's go. Yellow.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And he floats one there, incomplete. Kendall Wright, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A 2nd down throw for Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're looking at 3rd and the nose of the football.
Hey, we're good. Black.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And he finds Cook. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Charles, I think back to your earlier statement about the visitors being the underdogs needing to win that turnover battle. And this defense, they forced 2 turnovers so far, a big reason why they lead this game.
Yeah, and I know defenses always talk about getting turnovers in bunches, getting those takeaways. 2's not a bunch, but it's plenty in this game, exactly the formula they need. And I got to tell you, partner, I like it when you think back to something I said that actually comes true, that's actually right.
That happens more often than you might think. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
They run again on 1st down, Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Here we go. Tie it right. Hey, flipper.
Cousins. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be 3rd and 15. Here's Cousins. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. The screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion. What you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So an interesting call there to take the three. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, fourth quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now a first down throw. Stafford. Caught right side. Tate. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
53.
On second down, here's Stafford. And this one is incomplete.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. The Lions on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And some room to maneuver. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. It's brought in left side by Tate. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Now Blount. And bulldozing his way. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. LeGarrette Blount, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions add on to their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments. Try to run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Extra point good by Prater. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Jordan gets set.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. First down. Here's Cousins. Pressure up the middle, and down he goes. Sean Robinson in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Of course, remember, you need a touchdown here and a field goal.
Doesn't matter the order, but they have to get it done and get it done fast.
To throw is Cousins. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Snags it for the pick. Matthews, the intended target.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Here we go. Trips right. Set. Lady.
A first run for the backup Abdullah. And he'll power his way up near the 25. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. He hits his target. It's the tight end, Toilolo. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Stafford now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Set. Lady.
And the Lions will take the knee here with victory in the cards.
We're rolling.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Detroit, they'll finish the first half of the schedule dead even at 4-4. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, so long, everybody.